Somebody heard "You Are the Light of the World" and they put it on. The parishioners of the small Protestant church of Le Chambon-sur-Lignon lived quiet, unnoticed lives as farmers and shopkeepers in their remote French mountain village. Then at the outbreak of World War II, Jewish families began arriving at the town's small train station, desperately seeking refuge from the Nazi horrors. The French Vichy government, collaborators with the Germans, banned harboring Jewish refugees. But the Chambonnais, led by their pastor, defied the law and began offering refuge to any Jew who came to the village. Members of the little church took Jews into their homes, fed and clothed them, provided money and forged identification papers, and educated their children. Despite the growing suspicion of the French state police, the Chambonnais managed to carry on their work in secrecy. It is said that between 1940 and 1943, there was not a wine cellar or haystack or attic in all of Le Chambon that had not sheltered a Jewish child. In the dark of the night, villagers would hide the children in their hay wagons and transport them across the mountains to safety in Switzerland. No resident of Le Chambon had ever turned away, denounced, or betrayed a single Jewish refugee. It is estimated that the Chambonnais had saved more than 5,000 Jews from the Holocaust. An old villager later recalled, quote, "We didn't protect Jews because we were moral or heroic people. We helped them because it was the human thing to do." The pastor, André Trocmé, who led the work, said of his parish's actions, "We did it because we wanted to be with Jesus. We did it because we wanted to be with Jesus." That speaks to us today, doesn't it? And I'll go no further. The story of Le Chambon mirrors Jesus' call to his followers to be salt and light for the world. Jesus' words are not intended as a compliment, but rather a challenge to live the gospel we have heard and profess to believe it. Until our hopes for justice become our work for justice, until our prayers for peace and unity in the world are first lived in our home and community, until our professed belief in God as Father of all affects every one of our relationships, we are as good as flavorless salt. We are as useful as light hidden away under a basket, or like the lights that weren't on, totally. Pastor Trocmé and the parishioners of Le Chambon accepted that call in their incredibly courageous but little-known work to help Jewish refugees. One of my favorite quotes is from Albert Schweitzer, who said, "Example is not the main thing in influencing others. It's the only thing." May we realize our own vocation to be salt to a world desperate to realize the joy and hope of God's presence. May we be light for those who have lost their way in the darkness of despair and injustice. Let us pray.